Hey there, this is Rabbi Blake. This week's Torah portion is called Balak, and it's a really interesting story. I don't know if you learned it in Sunday school. It's all about a man named Bilam who is sent on a mission by a king who wants Bilam, who happens to be a sorcerer, to curse the king's enemies, who happen to be the people of Israel. So this Gentile king calls upon this Gentile sorcerer to curse the Israelite people so that they will fail and fall to their enemies' hands. So Bilam sets out on this mission by mounting his donkey, and as he's going down the path on his way to do the dirty work, turns out the donkey kind of just stops in the middle of the path. And Bilam is frustrated and angry, and he beats the animal. And the animal proceeds and stops again. And this time Bilam strikes the animal even more sternly and gets very angry. And this goes on until finally the animal begins to speak and reveals what has been happening. What the reader knows is that the animal has stopped because an angel of the Holy One of Blessing is standing in the way of the path and constantly obstructing the animal's ability to move forward. The animal, of course, sees this all along. The rider does not see it at all. And the animal upbraids his rider and says, "Why are you beating me? I'm your donkey. I'm the same ass you've been riding for, God knows how long. Why do you insist on striking me?" And at that moment, Bilam's eyes are open and he can see the angel stationed in the pathway that has been obstructing the path all along. It's a fascinating allegory for us to consider. How often in life do we feel like Bilam, the rider on that strange talking ass, for some reason beating our heads, as it were, against the wall and still not making progress? Feel like we keep trying the same thing over and over again, but it's not getting us anywhere, and we don't know why, and our response is to feel anger and frustration and even to lash out, and it's enervating and exhausting and draining. I find that this can happen in our professional lives. It can certainly happen in interactions with our loved ones. How many people feel like it's not a different fight every time that you have with your partner, your spouse, your child, your parent, or a friend, but rather you have the same argument over and over and over again. It seems like you're always stuck on the same point. You're always rehashing the same old grievances. You're like Bilam riding that ass, not seeing what your heretofore mute animal is seeing. And wouldn't it be nice if someone could just talk to us and level with us and maybe open our eyes a little bit to what's really going on? I know from practicing yoga that this sometimes happens even in yoga, that you're stuck on a pose that you just can't seem to get, and the worst thing you can do in that moment, I have learned, sometimes learned the hard way, is to keep pushing yourself and forcing it, when instead the only way to progress is simply to breathe and to accept that maybe you're stuck, but the next time you come at it, things will flow more readily. It's wonderful wisdom by which to live as we think about this week's reading. Shabbat Shalom.